Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your StockMiner, Brian Johnson, preparing for a new week of trading. Coming into the first trading week of August. Now, what did we see coming into the last week of July? A lot of consolidation. Seems the markets were either A, just trying to keep things kind of on par with where it had been, and or maybe they just didn't want to make any more larger decisions before the beginning of the month started. So we may start to see the markets move again in a real way over the next week or two. It isn't always common to see things come running out of the gates on the first trading day of a new month or anything, contrary to what a lot of bloggers like to write about. It's not usually the case, so don't be surprised if we don't see large moves early in the week. But since we have been consolidating for a number of days, it is and will be preparing for another big move. Which direction is that? I'm still stuck, guys. I looked it all over this weekend. My bias still remains that of neutral to bullish. I just really like the look, especially of the Dow on a 60-minute for all you Elliott wavers of a 1, 2, 3, 4 type of wave we're putting in here with a 5 to the upside yet to come in this particular move. So I'm still watching and waiting. Doesn't mean it has to happen. This count could be incorrect. But wait for these moves. I still like this market below 10,350 and above 10,600 in the bigger picture for your direction. Now, if you guys want to be more speculative, if you're a little bit more aggressive, back above that 10,500 mark is also an area to take a long position at, but it is very speculative, so be very cautious if you decide to do that. Looking at the daily, you can see us still holding on to this support area here and the 200. The fact that it's holding this support area requires me, because the charts are what they are, requires me to be more neutral to bullish on the markets and to keep my bias out of it. If and when we do break that 10,350-ish mark, then of course I can be a little bit more bearish on the market. I will be very cautious of this overhead area. This was broken. You can see us hit, break through, and have not retested it yet. So even 10,300 has to be looked at as support in this particular instance. NASDAQ on a 60 also holding the blue line. That is I think, a very good place to be looking for trades. So in and below 1850 coming into the week would be a good thing to watch. And keep in mind, we held here, we held here. So we have been bouncing along this line very well. I like it. I think it's a strong one. I have done new lines this week. So if you are following along at home, I would ask that you might want to draw these into your charts, maybe make them a different color or whatever, just to see how it plays out. But I usually have pretty good luck with a lot of my lines, so I would have these in here and be looking at these as your areas of support and resistance going forward, with trades available underneath. We get back below this 1835-ish area in the NASDAQ, it could be game on for the bears. You guys don't want to miss that if and when it happens. From a weekly, you can see us trying to push ourselves against this upper line right here on a weekly. Just still waiting to see if we're going to break above the 20 or below the 50 before this is all over with. SPX on a 60-minute doing the same thing, waiting for breaks back up and above this area. Ultimately, I still like the 1125-ish area before I start really thinking more bullish. But I am and have to remain neutral to bullish in the short term on a cautious line. Why? Because of this price action right here. We are holding ourselves up here. However, once again, above 1125, kind of more the area I want to be watching for a longer trade for the bulls on the SPX. We break back down below 1080, and that could be your mark for your bears to start pouring in to the market again. From a weekly, still holding between the 20 and the 50 as well, seeing that a lot on a lot of the other charts, and ultimately waiting for breaks of one of those areas before we look for our trades into the new week. VIX on a daily, chop, chop, chop. As you can see here, we're going nowhere, waiting for more major breaks below here or back above here. I don't really necessarily use the VIX as a guide for the direction of the markets. I usually use the direction of the markets as an idea of what the VIX might be doing, if that makes any sense to you. So we did see over the week the VIX ended up really flat for the week. So, yeah, kind of confirming what we were seeing in the markets, and that was not a lot of movement overall when the whole week was said and done. Still nobody sure which way the market's going, so fear remains kind of neutral at this point. Apple on a 60, big pullback here. We saw some opportunities last week to trade this thing. There was a day of straight up and then a day of straight down with Apple. Overall, guys, look at this. It's just choppy. There is so much indecision in this market right now as to where to take this and where to take these stocks. We have, if you're an Apple investor, you made a killing up until about April. Since then, if you've been a longer term investor, you've made nothing. You're just break even on this thing for the last umpteen months. That is a long time for anything to consolidate. So we will wait to see if those bigger moves come anytime in the near future for us. My look is still back above this area or back below this area before I get one way or the other in a bigger way on Apple. FAS on a 60-minute also showing us the same consolidation, guys. Move down, consolidate. You can see that the green line coming up and through here and the blue line coming up and below actually make, for all purposes, pretty nice trend lines too. Not only are they good support resistance lines in and by themselves as moving averages, they actually work pretty well in this case as trend lines. So be watching for breaks of this area. I really like it back above 23, and or more speculative traders could take it back below 22 for your day trades. If you guys are looking to swing trade this, you just got to be so cautious. I wouldn't be looking to maybe hold overnight until we got back above this 24-ish area, 2450-ish or so. And then back below maybe 21 down in here. Otherwise, I'd be very cautious. You can see this has been every bit as choppy as all the rest of the markets have back here. Not since April in this case, but since May in this case. We've been all but straight across in FAS and FAZ, obviously. FAZ, if I'm going to draw lines, kind of looks like right now as a ascending triangle. That would be a bullish formation, but wouldn't convince me too much to get bearish on this stock if we got back below about 1350-ish or so. Back above around 1425 is your entry tomorrow for a potential long play, at least on an intraday basis. You'll be wanting to watch the, I'd say we might make 15. I like the look of 15 at this point. Yeah, so I think if we can get back up and around that area, I think $15 is a good price target on that area. That'll do it for today, guys. This consolidation that we saw most of last week, if not all of last week, was just tedious trading, showing you that it isn't always possible to make money in the markets every day if you're just going to play the indices. That's why it is important to have some stocks tucked in your back pocket. For those of you that don't know how to pick your stocks or don't really want to mess with it overall, I would invite you to please try the newsletter. I do about, 4, 5, 6 different individual stock plays that we watch every week. Sometimes they change, sometimes all of them change, sometimes only a few of them change, but these are options for you to watch when the markets, the indices themselves are not moving. Sometimes you can find some very good trades within individual stocks themselves at $15 a month. It's not a bad idea to have those at your fingertips. Not only that, but you'll also find, I think, that the other information within the newsletter is very, very useful. Most people do, and I think you will too. So if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. Otherwise, I will see you again tomorrow, and thank you to everyone that has been putting my link and stuff out there to all your friends. I really do appreciate it. If you have a Twitter account, simply retweeting something, one of my tweets, simply retweeting one of them, really helps a lot. I know a lot of you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of friends on that. If you have other people interested in trading, just a simple retweet gets the word out really, really quick. So thank you so much again. We will see you tomorrow night. Bye.